Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvadomukham Narasimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityor Mrityum Namamyaham.
You were born in 2016.
Yeah.
Are you still a child?
Yes, I am. Yesterday I came back from school and my dad was smiling. He told me you're going on bare biceps. I was literally jumping for joy.
It's our honor to have you here, little Devi. Why do you think we have goddesses in our culture?
It is said that the bones or the skeleton come from the father, all the flesh and muscle comes from the mother. Who's the mother in this case? Maa Devi. Maa Devi ke saath you cannot mess.
I'd love to know what you think of Maa Kali.
Maa Kali is one of the three Devi. Three Devis, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Parvati or Kali. So if Saraswati leaves your home, your brain just leaves your home. And if Shakti leaves your home, because Shakti is like...
Do you ever try explaining all these concepts to your friends who are your age?
I do, but they're just like, एक काम कर, SS के PT पे ध्यान दे, इस पे मत ध्यान दे, बेटा.
Why do you think your mind works like this?
So for me, I just speak because Lord Sri Krishna has said कि जो काम कर रहे हो, बस करो, बाकी सब मेरे हाथ में छोड़ दो.
Paridhi, I'm very excited to speak to you. You're a very calming presence. Normally with kids your age, there's a lot of energy they bring to rooms. You've like just calmed down the whole room. How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah?
Just like Narayan, I'm always great.
How did you learn all this about Sanatan Dharma?
Basically, when I was 2, my parents used to make me watch all those cartoons and all that. And बीच में वो जो Little Krishna का cartoon आता था, that popped up.
Okay.
And that became my little favorite.
Okay.
As far as I remember. And then when I turned 3, I started learning Bharatanatyam. My mom's a Bharatanatyam dancer, teacher. So with that more... Then when I was 4, my mom got me this Ramayana.
Okay.
It was very thick, but I read it like within 2 days. I loved it so much. Then a few months after that, my dad got me a Mahabharata and my sister got me a book on Harivamsh. So it was like, not Harivamsh, basically like the stories on Krishna. So I was like, okay, this is interesting.
It seems to me like Krishna Bhagavan is your Ishtadev.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah.
How do you explain what an Ishtadev is to people who've never heard the word?
Ishtadev is like similar to your favorite god. And although I have never fully understood the term myself, but as to my understanding or as I have understood, your Ishtadev is the god who is in your heart or in your mind. For me, it is not just Krishna, it's also Shiva. As a Bharatanatyam.
In your heart?
Yeah. Like, I don't have a favorite god, but Krishna, that's in his name. All attractive. Krishna means all attractive. And when you, like, Bal Krishna ke बारे में ऐसे बोलते हैं, when you look at little Krishna, even if he's covered in mud, you'll be attracted to him. He was that attractive. And Krishna, एक और चीज़ है, that when you're in the presence of Krishna, your aura automatically becomes positive. And Krishna, if Krishna is your mentor, like for different people, Krishna is something else. For me, Krishna is the Gopika Vallabha.
Which means what?
He's the one who's the beloved of the gopis.
Okay.
For another person, he might be Makhan Chor. For another, he might be the mentor. Oh, so on and so forth. But if I like Gopika Vallabha, I cannot deny that he's Bal Krishna. Because, like, एक फिक्स डिस्क्रिप्शन नहीं होता है भगवान का. Whoever you imagine as he is. You see the Bhagwan not just with Krishna. This applies to every god, every single god. Like उनका कोई फिक्स डिस्क्रिप्शन नहीं होता है. How you see them, they are. If he's a flower to you, he's a flower. If he's Tulsi, he's Tulsi. If he's Shaligram, he's Shaligram. But he is how you see he is.
How are you feeling today?
Great.
You like this room?
Yes.
How are you feeling?
Great. I have a question for you.
What's up?
Why did you keep the channel name Beer Biceps?
When it started 10 years ago, this is before you were born.
Yes. Almost before I was born.
2015.
Yeah.
So when were you born?
16.
Right, just before you were born.
Yes.
But when it started, that time I thought I'll only want to create fitness videos. So I wanted to stand out. And I wanted to promote the idea that, hey, you can be fit, but you can also party. And at that point in my life, I used to party a lot. Then eventually at some point in life, I stopped partying. And I stopped drinking and all those things because of all this other stuff I learned. But the thing is, by that point, the name was very famous. So even today, when I want to drop it, sometimes I believe like the divine decides these things for you. And also on some deeper level, I try rationalizing it because I'm a Kalbhairav Bhakt. And have you heard of Khappar Bhog?
No.
So in Kalbhairav temples, the specialty is that you can offer alcohol as prasadam to him. But when you're offering the alcohol, it's a way of saying I offer all my own negativity to you. Take away all my negative traits. So I've seen people offering cigarettes in Kalbhairav temples. I've seen people offering alcohol. So I think as I'm growing older in life and as I'm understanding Ugra Devtas like Kalbhairav, Kalima, I'm kind of also learning not to judge even these negative things in our world. You know, in Sansar. Whatever is the negative thing, it's fine. It's all a part of the universe.
Ugram se yaad hai, I had learned this beautiful mantra on Narsimha. It was included, like I watched Mahabharata Narsimha, I'm obsessed. But it was included in the movie. And I was really happy because I have watched a few cartoons and they usually depict it for kids. But Mahabharata Narsimha is like, it's not only awakening the child inside you, it's also awakening the bhakt inside you. Because the moment the movie was ending, वो फाड़ने के टाइम पे, my brother was completely shocked. My brother was like, and I was so happy, I was literally wickedly grinning, like, yay, kind of. Because watching that demon die, it was feeling like you're getting more energetic. So even though my eyes were like, my body was like, yes, I'm full of energy. And like the mantra is, Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvadomukham Narasimham Bhishanam Bhadram Nrityum Namamyaham. So it's like you are Mahavishnu, you are terrible, you are powerful. Lord Narasimha, you are Lord Narasimha, you are auspicious, you are like, you are great. It's just saying you're great in ways that just make me feel like, yes, I agree.
Are you even a child? Are you still a child?
Yes, I am. Because in school, you see many people when they look at me, they think, oh, she must be like, to tell you truthfully, in school, I'm really great at English, at SS, in science. Math, I'm little weak at, which people will not expect. And when I told Sid Chachu, who's my, just kidding with Sid, he was so surprised because he did not expect. In my first podcast, I told him I'm weak at maths, and he was like, I do not believe you, but it was crazy seeing how people were shocked when I said I'm weak at maths.
Yeah. You know, I used to be weak at maths till the 9th standard. And then my mum put me for these tuitions with this one maths teacher who was very famous for turning people from being bad maths students to really good maths students. So when I met her, she was very friendly and chilled out. And she'd explain the same things that my school teachers would explain. But the only difference was that she would give us a lot of homework, like a crazy amount of homework. But I'd still do it because she was the sweetest person and she'd only get angry if you didn't do the homework well. So you were forced to do that large quantity of homework. And I genuinely turned into one of the best math students in my class. And then even in engineering college, even in the most difficult maths-based subjects, I actually got really good marks. Because I realized that math is just about like doing small amounts of practice every day. It's a very different subject than all these other subjects. Like they require a certain kind of energy. This just requires you to like go at it. It's like a marathon versus those subjects being a dance. And I actually think that anyone can become good at maths, but it's just about that boring practice every day.
And one more thing is that even before the podcast we were discussing this, my languages are not good.
Oh, same. Same.
That in Marathi, I literally have to revise. My best friend's a Marathi. Her name is Ridhya Agrawal. And she goes like, I'll help you. Just don't mess up Marathi again. And I'm super grateful to her.
So, sister, you were born in 2016.
Yeah.
Do you remember the lockdown?
Yes, I do.
How was it for you? Because you must have been like 4 or 5 years old.
Yes, I was 4. And I was sent to my grandparents. And at that time, they've moved. But at that time, they used to live on ground floor. And uske samne, it was this really big garden. So we had this set routine. My cousin was also there. I was sent and my parents were home. His parents were home. It was just me, my grandparents and my brother, who was like 1 or 2 at that time. And we had a set routine. Every morning, my grandparents, I call my grandma Ammu, my grandpa Appu. Because Ammuma Appupa in Malayalam. This is my maternal grandparents because my paternals are in Chhattisgarh. So we would wake up every morning. Our grandfather would go for a walk, so we would just accompany him, me and my brother, while Ammu made breakfast. And then my grandpa would take his injection, whatsoever, and we would all eat. Then we would play, we would watch TV, we would eat an apple. Lunch ke baad the most exciting part came. We took a nap. By 4 o'clock, 4:30 sharp, everyone had to wake up. No matter what. If you're sleepy or not, we don't care. The milk and the sugar, people used to come, ki doodh chahiye, the shakkar. Every day, my grandma would make paisam. Paisam is like kheer with semia. And every 6 o'clock, that Radha Krishna serial used to come up. So 6 o'clock tak hum sab baithe paisam ke sath and were watching while drinking. Once I drank 10 bowls together. Like, she makes the best.
Yeah. Did it bother you at all, the lockdown?
No, not
You
at
were
all.
happy?
Yeah, I was fine. The only thing that bothered me was like I didn't get to see my friends at that time.
There's a theory that applies to every human being. So the theory says that as you move forward in life, as you grow older, the feeling of time changes. Time feels like it's becoming way shorter as you grow older.
This is
I'm sure you
definitely-
feel that a little bit even in the 4th grade.
right now, yes.
Like, I'll tell you what it feels like when I remember 4th grade. The jump from 4th to 5th or 5th to 6th felt really long. But the jump from 25 to 32, which is 7 years, feels like 1 year now. And, when you hear a lot of adults saying that time flies fast, that's an actual thing. You don't understand how quickly time passes by as you keep growing older.
That is very, very much experience because even my parents were saying, yeah, इस साल गणपति जल्दी चले गए. Like नहीं 11 दिन के लिए रुके थे. But even for me, because I literally remember what happened on my 9th birthday. Like almost every detail I can tell you.
Yeah. Before we move forward, I'd love for you to do a chant for us, whatever is close to your heart.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Krishnaya Namo Namah.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you
Yeah.
to explain how bhakti is evolving for you at your age.
Basically, in Bharatanatyam, there's this pose like this. And for me, it symbolizes how my soul is connecting to Narayana. Like how two atoms connect, it's my bhakti with Narayana.
Do you pray?
Yes, I do.
So how do you pray and what do you pray for?
Not much. I don't ask for anything. If it's really important, like my health or a loved one's health, yes, I will pray. But other than that, I don't ask for anything. I used to.
Like what did you ask for?
Like a toy, maybe simple. But now I know that my parents have also helped me understand I have one of the most valuable things one can ask for, and that is my brain. And so even if someone asks me what is the most valuable thing you have, I'll say my knowledge. And secondly, no one can steal it from me because knowledge can only be absorbed, not stole.
You know, I've come to the realization in life that knowledge is a gift, but even knowledge is energy. Do you know what I mean? It's just passing through us. It's not our own in the first place. Almost nothing is our own in this world. That's what I feel. Like we're just a channel for higher energies to create art and create words and create sentences in this realm that we live in.
Yep.
How's the podcast going till now?
Great.
Yeah?
Yep.
Is it any different than any of the episodes you've done?
I don't think so.
This is the same.
Yes.
Okay.
But one thing is that even for me, it's a very big stage here for me to speak, and it's very exciting. And I didn't even know this podcast was happening. My parents were yesterday. I came back from school, and my dad was smiling on all weird. And then he told me, "You're going on beer biceps." I was literally jumping for joy.
I'm glad. It's our honor to have you here, little Devi. That's what I'll say. I'd love to know what you think of Maa Kali. What does she mean to you, Maa Kali?
She's like, you know what is the reason Mahishasur took a bone that no man can kill me? Because he thought women were insignificant. For the first thing, Maa Kali is one of the three Devi. Three Devis: Lakshmi, Saraswati, Parvati or Kali. And these three embody how women are like powerful, very powerful. Lakshmi, if you like disrespect Lakshmi or are greedy in any way, she'll walk away, leaving you with misfortune, poverty, everything bad. And she'll send her sister, that is Dhyeshta or a Lakshmi, that she brings misfortune, basically opposite of Lakshmi. So if Saraswati leaves your home, basically all control in your brain, or your brain just leaves your home. Let's just say that. And if Shakti leaves your home, you're vulnerable. Because Shakti is like mother. It is said कि Annapurna, Shakti, Devi, she gave birth to ये जो पूरा, we all humans are here. She's personification. And I want to make a pointer that like when I see Maa Kali, an image of her with the head of Rakta Beej, I feel like, yeah, energy in. Energy in. And the moment I become angry in my school, I'm picturing nothing else but Kali in my head. And I feel like every step I take when I get angry is making my mind quake like this. I don't know if there's one thing like mind quake, but it is similar to an earthquake happening inside your mind.
Why do you think we have goddesses in our culture?
Because you see, it is said that the bones or the skeleton come from the father, and all the flesh that we have, all the flesh and muscle comes from the mother. Who's the mother in this case? Maa Devi. And you know, there was a sage called Bringi who didn't want to acknowledge Shakti at all. He wanted only Shiva. And Parvati was offended. She became very close to Mahadev. Then Bhringi became a bee and started to circulate only and only Mahadev. And Parvati was getting angrier. So Mahadev did the only thing he had. He became Ardhanarishwar with Ma Parvati. And you know, the level of audacity Bhringi had, that he became a worm and started to cut through Ardhanarishwara. At this, Ma Parvati became very angry. So she comes off, she separates herself from Lord Shiva and she goes, "You've crossed a level, Bhringi. I curse you to lose all the flesh, since that comes from the mother." And so he became a little skeleton. But Mahadev took pity on him and he gave him a third leg. And that is how he remained forever on 3 legs.
But then what happened?
Like, it is a lesson for all of us that Ma Devi ke saath you cannot mess. Like I said in the podcast that if you are in front of a warrior god or goddess like Ma Devi, Mahadev, Krishna, like you blink and you're dead. Like that's it. Like you're like, oh no, the Sudarshan Chakra cut my head off. So that's how it is. And Ma Devi, she's a personification ki you can mess with me all you want. Don't even think about messing with my loved ones.
Okay. Where are you getting all these stories from?
Mahagatha.
What is that?
It's a book by Satyarth Nayak.
Okay.
Really good. Like, I would recommend anyone watching this to read it.
Yeah.
It's one of the best books on the Puranas.
You know, I once met a really powerful, famous lady. I'm not going to take her name. And she said that she really wants her grandchildren who are 4 and 5 years old to understand Hinduism more deeply. And I'm sure there's a lot of families watching this episode with their kids. So how do we teach 4 and 5-year-olds about our culture?
तो पहली बात तो our culture, I would tell them that you are going to be the flag bearers of our culture.
The kids.
The kids, all the kids. Because the thing is, that is what our Purvajan, our ancestors wanted. Their culture will keep on flourishing. That obviously didn't happen because of the Britishers. But yes, I like our culture because it is the thing ki whether you're in Kashmir, in Kanyakumari, in Ahmedabad, in Assam, wherever you go, you will see that Bharat is there. Bharat. I'm not saying culture, I'm saying Bharat. Because let's take the beautiful example of Ganesh Chaturthi, since it just went by. That in Maharashtra and in Kerala, we celebrate it differently. But still, Ganpati is grandly celebrated, very grandly, especially in Maharashtra, but grandly celebrated all over the world, not just in India. So that shows you that India is the leader when it comes to culture. Like the Indian culture is like a rope or a thread that is tying the entire world together to make sure that none of it is falling apart.
Okay, we're going to play a little game. I'm going to say some devtas names. And you have to say one sentence about what those devtas mean. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ganpati.
Ganpati is the cardinal deity.
Okay. Hanumanji.
The protector of Lord Ram's name till the very end of this universe.
Durga Ma.
Durga Ma is the defender.
Ma Saraswati.
Vagdevi, or the goddess of speech.
Ma Lakshmi.
The short-tempered, beautiful wife of Lord Narayana.
Vishnu Bhagwan.
Vishnu Bhagwan, protector of the Vaishnavas.
Okay.
Oh, I have a better one. Servant to his devotees. According to him, not to me.
Okay. Kal Bhairav.
Kal Bhairav, protector of his devotees.
Bhagwan Kartikeya.
God of war. Commander of the Devatas. Demigods.
Lord Ram.
The handsome avatar of Vishnu. Not gonna lie, but really, if you search anywhere, he will be described as a very handsome god. Both Krishna and Ram have that quality, being Narayana avatars. Yes.
Let's speak about Bhagwan Krishna a little bit. And I don't know where this question is coming from, but I feel like he visits you in your dreams.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. Not very often, but when he's telling me something great or something is going to come, or just to acknowledge the fact that I'm his bhakt or something. Yes. And one more thing is that when you're praying to Krishna, I was watching your podcast with Devi ji. When you're praying to Krishna, he'll cling on to you. That's one thing I would agree with. Like, the moment I started reading about Krishna, that name couldn't exit my mind only. It was staying there. Like, I ain't gonna leave. I'm not gonna leave.
You feel he communicates with you?
Yes.
In what manner?
Both physically and spiritually.
You know, I've had an experience throughout my life where I'm 32 and I've had phases where I feel very connected to the divine, obviously, but because I'm Hindu, the divine takes different forms during different phases of my life. You know, when I was a child, it was only Hanumanji for me. And then as I grew older, it became about Krishna for a very long time. And then eventually I've discovered Kal Bhairav, I've discovered Maa Kali. And whichever devta is very close to my heart at that stage of my life, I don't know whether I consciously do it or it happens subconsciously. But when I wake up in the morning, it's the image of the devta that comes to my head first thing in the morning. Does that happen to you?
Yes, because the first thing when you wake up, normally you feel groggy, but then the moment you wake up, for me, like the first word I utter is Krishna. Even if I'm groggy, even if I'm sleepy, even if I'm like, I'm going to be like, Hare Krishna. Acha chalo utte.
And this is just pure bhakti.
Yeah.
There's nothing you want from Krishna.
No.
Other than his presence.
Yes.
Right? I want to kind of ask you about your mind. You know, because I feel I've spoken to so many people on the show, I've spoken to so many kids on the show. Kids think of a lot of random things. And I see you thinking about all these stories so much and retaining all this information in your head. Why do you think your mind works like this? You know what Swadharma means? Swadharma is like the work you were born to do. And clearly, at such a young age, you've already found your Swadharma. So, do you ever think of this?
Like, you see, even if I grow up to not have all this knowledge I have right now, firstly, I would say I'm always going to be in my learning stage. Whether I'm 20, 30, 40, 50, I don't care. I'll always be in my learning stage no matter what. Secondly, it's that Lord Sri Krishna has said कि जो काम कर रहे हो बस करो, बाकी सब मेरे हाथ में छोड़ दो. And so for me, it's just that I just speak, I just blah blah blah, and then I like rest and I read all day. Like, it's not a big deal because I have achieved nothing. There are people who have achieved more than me. And because of this, I always remember I have to stay grounded no matter what. And I get help for that.
How?
With my parents also, with my friends also.
Okay.
My friends are always like, hey, पागल, तेरे को कुछ भी नहीं आता. ज़्यादा मत उड़.
Fun. You know what you said, that you just sit and blabber on the podcast?
Yes.
I'm the same. And I call this flow state. You know what flow state is? It's basically when you worked on a skill so much that after a point, as long as you're still working hard on improving the skill, when you're playing out the skill, you don't know how your brain is constructing what the skill is meant to construct. So sometimes a writer has learned a lot, has read a lot, but when they're writing, they don't know where it's coming out from. Or when a speaker is speaking, they don't know where they're speaking from. Or when a cricketer is batting or bowling, sometimes they're batting and bowling really well. That's the flow state. And the more your brain can enter the flow state, the nicer the experience of life becomes and the more valuable your work becomes. But whenever I've heard you on any of these podcasts, I see that you really channelize some kind of higher energy. You know, you speak like you're 70 years old. Do you ever think of your past life?
No, because you see, whatever is happening in my past, in this life, it's going to be related to my past life anyway. So I don't need to think. There's a very beautiful story from the Mahabharata on this. post-war.
Sure.
Dhritarashtra is crying. And then he asks Krishna, मैंने पिछले जीवन में कैसा पाप किया that I am suffering this right now. So Krishna says, 100 lives ago, probably 1,000, like 100 or 1,000 lives ago, you were a hunter. And you killed 100 eggs of a bird. And that bird was grieving just as how you're grieving now. And that shows us कि जितने भी जीवन हो जाए, God won't forget what you did. God will never forget what you did. You may, your parents may, your siblings may, but God will never.
You speaking about the law of karma?
Yes. Which brings me to a question to you.
What's up?
So, I had done a podcast with Gayatri Shivaraya ma'am, and I had asked her about manifestation. And I had asked her the difference between manifestation and karma. She told me if you're vibrating at luck, at knowledge, then all the things vibrating at the same thing will automatically come to you. That is what I understood. So what are your thoughts on manifestation?
When I was younger, when I was in college, I'm 32 years old today. But say when I was between 18 to 22, my whole head was all about manifestation and visualization. Because I watch a lot of sports. And lots of sports people talk about manifestation. So that had influenced me. So I kept visualizing things. And all those things came true. With effort, obviously. It's not just enough to visualize. You have to put in hard work. But then eventually, once I started this show, I met all these evolved people. Like Sadhguru, like Gauranga Das Prabhu, like Shri M, like B.K. Shivani ma'am. And all of them taught me one common truth, which is that, yes, manifestation power exists inside you, but the only thing you should truly manifest is your closeness to the divine. So if you only ask the divine to be near you, eventually the divine manifests things for you that are better than the visualizations that you have had for yourself. So I never manifest anything in the long term anymore. But if I'm nervous about something that's happening the next day, I just try visualizing a positive outcome to settle down my nervousness, because that's what I learned from sport. So that's as far as I'll go. But I also believe that when you manifest, you're letting go of a little bit of your spiritual energy, which you're accumulating through prayer and meditation. Therefore, only manifest going closer to the divine. That's how I feel.
And one more thing to me is that I had asked her the difference between manifestation and karma. Karma, I feel, is like a boomerang. What you throw, it automatically comes back to you. And karma का basic rule क्या है? जो कर रहे हो वो आपके पास ही वापस आएगा. So I think every time someone says karma, I visualize that there is a wooden boomerang with karma carved on it. So like when you're throwing it, it comes back to you.
Do you ever try explaining all these concepts to your friends who are your age?
I do, but they're just like, एक काम कर, SS के PT पे ध्यान दे, इस पे मत ध्यान दे, बेटा.
Do any of them get it?
No.
So you only talk to adults about all this stuff?
No. I just read, and like if I feel like it's necessary to say it here or I need to say it here, I'll say it here.
Oh wow, that's really mature.
But if I feel like इसकी ज़रूरत नहीं है, why do I need to say it?
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I don't know. Basically, no offense, but this is one of my least favorite questions someone asks me. Because I don't exactly want to know or know what is going to come in the future.
Do you think you're going to do some version of what you're already doing?
God knows. And that literally, because God does know. But the three things I wouldn't mind becoming is dancer. I love dancing. Dancing is my hobby. Even before we were filming, like a song was playing and I was like dancing and vibing. Then an archaeologist. My godfather was quite surprised. Like, archaeologist? Oh my god. And then thirdly, an author. Any of the three.
I won't be surprised if you become an author. I won't be surprised if you do something in the world of content, you know. I think the internet is going to need people like you in 2040. It needs people like you in 2025 also. You know, a lot of adults my age are watching you on our phones and learning so much about Krishna and Vishnu. And you're 9 years old. That's crazy to us. Do you know what ASMR is?
Yes,
You know,
I
when
do.
when you see
Like-
those visuals and sounds that feel
Yes.
nice. So,
Like-
so with all kids podcasts, it's ASMR for people our age. It heals us because our lives are a little difficult. You know, adult life is not simple. Yeah, so it's really nice listening to kids like you. Do you think adult life can be difficult?
I don't know, since I haven't experienced it in any way yet, obviously. But my people, like the people around me, keep telling me, you sound like you're 90.
I agree. And that's a compliment.
And plus, I also feel like the one thing you need when you grow up a little is meditation. Don't read Bhagavad Gita, it's fine. Don't pray, it's fine. Just meditate.
Do you meditate?
Yes, I do. But it's
Really?
not the kind of meditation you would expect. Like most people, when they look at me and I tell them I meditate, what they're imagining, I feel, is like I'm meditating with large mantras. No. That's like, I have this audio on Spotify. It's called Meditation Mountain.
Okay.
Not just Meditation Mountain, I have a variety of audios, but I have multiple. And this one, it's for 15 minutes. I try to wake up early at 5:15 until 5:30. I'll do this. And it's in the end of the audio, they give you a few affirmations like, I'm strong, I'm loved and cared for. And that's a really good kickstart to your day, because I wake up at 5:36 ish, and that, especially during 4 to 6, it is like peak peace positive timing. Okay, and I'm not even lying when I'm saying this. So
It's called Brahma Muhurat, right?
yes,
What's the most memorable temple you've been to in your life?
it's one here in Bangur Nagar. It's called Ayappa Temple. It was वो rice से करते ना जीप पे, like that. I don't know what that ritual is called.
Oh, where they pierce the tongue?
With the rice. Yeah. That my brother's was done there. I'm not sure if mine was done there too, but my brother's was done there. Then our old dance studio, उसका जो, even our new dance studio, the dance studios, उनका पूजा, the Pandit from that temple, he had come to do. Like in general, it's like a home to me. That Ayappa temple. Many people would think, oh, she would like a Ram temple or a Krishna temple. This is also because Ayappa is a god of the south.
Yeah.
And I'm a South Indian.
Yeah.
Partially a South Indian.
Yeah.
Many people get confused when I see this, because you can either be fully North Indian or fully South Indian. But that's not in my case. This is going to take a long time to explain.
I mean, your dad's from Chhattisgarh and your mom's from Kerala.
No, that's not the only difference. You see, my mom is from Kerala. She's born there, brought up in Bhilai. My aunt was born in Gwalior. My aunt, that's my mom's sister. My aunt's husband, my Mosa, is Maharashtrian. This feels so funny right now. My dad's dad is from Andhra. And my dad's mom is from UP.
Oh,
I
nice.
don't know if there's any more division there.
Nice. You represent all of India.
Yeah. And it's like when someone asks me, what's your native place? I'm like, there's a this.
So tell me one thing. If you had younger siblings and you're 9 years old, so if your siblings were 4 and 5 years old, how would you explain our Hindu faith to them? How do you explain what Hinduism is?
I wouldn't explain anything. You know, I would just let the books do the talking. Because now, since I've read since I was 4 and I'm 9 now, I've been reading for 5 years continuously. I know धीरे धीरे करके कौन से books देने हैं. And I know that. So I'll not talk. I'll take the back seat. But I will let the books go on stage.
Which books?
I used to have these 3 books for kids. Stories of Ramayana, Mahabharata and Lord Krishna respectively. Then I got Palace of Illusions. It's a very famous book. And Forest of Enchantments. Both were written by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. Good books. And one more author I'd like to mention, Amiga Natra. Mahabharata and Ramayana Unraveled.
She's been one of the most legendary guests of this podcast.
And like, kudos to Sid Chachu for making me meet her. I had a lot of misconceptions. All were cleared the moment she started talking.
Yeah. You know, one thing I've learned from Ami Ganatra is that Rishi Valmiki wrote the Ramayana, okay, and Ved Vyas narrated the Mahabharata to Ganpati Bhagwan,
Who wrote?
who wrote it. Okay, and these are the two original versions of it. But the thing is, these versions have been around for so long.
That
That-
you don't know what's wrong and what's right.
No, I think that these two versions are great, but too many human beings have added their own stories on
Their
top
own
of all
masala.
this. Yeah. But the thing is, this applies to a lot of other Hindu stories that we hear. And that's one thing I've learned through the show. So now there's no way to know exactly what's true and what's not, other than reading multiple original scriptures. So ideally, you should be reading them in Sanskrit. But there are some decent English translations nowadays. But all the Puranas, like obviously Vishnu Puran, Skand Puran, Shiv Puran, etc. And then these two books. And I think that for every adult Hindu, that's the right traditional way of learning about Hinduism. But there's no way to learn this exactly. Like, do you use Chat GPT?
No,
No, never.
never. I
Ever?
used to do in the starting, but then I realized like the worst person to trust if it comes to learning about Hindu scriptures is AI.
Why do you say that?
Because AI is created by humans. We humans don't know what is the truth. So at the there is no difference between asking AI and asking a human sitting right in front of me.
You know, you're right. I see a lot of friends my age using ChatGPT for astrology and using ChatGPT even for tarot reading. And they really, really believe in what that AI bot is outputting. But the truth is, I'm an engineer and I understand how technology works. A human being has trained that AI. And the astrological outputs of AI, they are not accurate. You need a professional astrologer, or you need an AI-based astrology app that's crafted accurately, because astrology is a very deep science and you won't be able to get accurate astrology from AI. But the same applies to what you're saying, the scriptural
Scriptures.
knowledge. The only way to really understand Hindu Dharma is to study the scriptures, ideally in Sanskrit. Do you know Sanskrit?
I'm learning.
Oh, really? I think you're going to become a lifelong student, you know. It's a very nice place to be mentally throughout life. I think you're going to keep learning things throughout life and then pass it on to the rest of the world. But as your elder brother, I would direct you towards the scriptures. Because every time you're reading something from a book, question it a little bit. That's one thing I've learned through the show also. If you really want to learn the truth about philosophy, spirituality, you turn to the scriptures. And just know when you're reading a book by any human, you have to minus out their personality from what you're reading. You can enjoy it, but don't take it as the ultimate truth. Have that little question in your own head. I think that's the purpose of being Hindu.
Another question.
Sure.
Okay, you've been a creator ever, like before I was born. Like before I was born. Like a month or a year before I was born, because I'm January born also. January 2nd.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I remember my birth date, the
Yeah.
day, the year, even the time I was born.
This YouTube channel was born on 15th August 2015. That's the date, but go on.
And I'm sure that you must have faced multiple hurdles
Yeah.
and you must have made mistakes. So, what is your way of handling those mistakes?
Have you heard the shlok Karmanyavadhikaraste Maa
Yes.
Phaleshu Kadachana?
Yes.
I would like for you to explain it. That's my only life lesson that's helped me through the ups and the downs.
So, Karmanyavadhikaraste is a shlok that it's so beautiful. Like, Krishna's words are so beautiful, no matter how much you try to copy them. Like the Krishna's, some people try to say that, oh my god, look, he sounds like Krishna. You can't say that. You know what? Because nobody can sound like God, firstly, and that's not possible because we never heard God, for the first thing. Secondly, you can't sound like Krishna because his voice was too sweet, too comforting. It can't be replicated. And Now that I've said that, Karmani Vadikaraste is a shlok that tells you that you just do your work and leave the rest to me. That's what Krishna is saying in basic words.
Yeah.
There's this shlok, chapter 4, verse 36. I don't remember it, but I remember the meaning. It is like, even if you are the most sinful person, even if you are the worst of the sinners, the boat of knowledge will carry you across that sea of sins. And it's really beautiful to me because, like, of course, we're not talking about sinning in this current conversation. We're talking about mistakes. But the same logic applies, the same calculation. Like, if you make a mistake, accept it. What's the point in arguing?
Yeah.
Because
Accept it, learn from it, and then build upon the journey you are on anyway.
like, move on. I took some time to understand that, but now I'm trying my best to rectify any mistake. Like I told you, I do not handle my own social media. I only just come, I blah blah blah, and I go back.
Yeah.
But I've made many mistakes. And the moment my parents tell me, they like, you have to rectify it in the next podcast. Like, I used to just straight on talk, but now I forgot to do this in the start of the podcast. But at the start of every podcast, I put a disclaimer that this is my opinion and this is what I have learned, I have read. So not to take it offensively.
No, that's fine. I think wise audiences understand that you're 9 years old. I'm not saying that you don't do what your parents said. That's good. But I'll tell you what. The world is always going to keep saying things irrespective of what you do. So you just try doing your best. Just do your own thing.
Yeah.
We're talking about shlokas right now. I'll tell you something that I have learned by just living in this earth for 32 years, which is that you'll understand the meaning of a shloka, but in truth, only when you live life and ponder upon the shloka through your life's experiences, will the meaning keep coming out more and more. And every time you think you've learned the meaning of it, life will throw a situation at you which will bring out more of that meaning. So that's why they say that every time you read the Bhagavad Gita, as you age, it'll give you a different essence and you learn it deeper and deeper. I think one of the mistakes that I see a lot of Hindu people making is that they try reading too many books, even with the Shastras. But I have been advised by a lot of people on the show that you pick up one domain and you go very deep. If you spend your time just studying a lot of different things, you're not going to have enough time and energy to go into one path really deep. And eventually, I've seen all the meditation schools, all the different schools of sadhana, they all direct you to sit in your prayer meditation so that you can escape the cycle of birth and death, maybe over multiple lifetimes. So that's how I look at Hinduism. That's how I teach people who are my age about it. That, if you keep engaging with the material world and you just focus on money, fame, human life, it's going to become empty after a point. It's good. All these things are good and they have their role to play. They make your life easier. But the actual goal, the reason you're born in a Hindu family, is so that you're given that head start in this escape route from the cycle of birth and death. That's the big blessing of being Hindu. But do you ever think about this? Escaping the cycle?
Not yet. I mean, I'm still a kid. And like I told you, I cannot forget I'm a human being.
Are you though?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Even my godfather Adhu used to say, मुझे लगता है ये यूरेनस से alien बन के आई है. She's so smart. She can't possibly be a human.
Yeah. There's a very, 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 very famous book called The Autobiography of a Yogi. Okay. Do you know who Steve Jobs is? He's the guy who created Apple. The company that makes the iPhone. And you obviously know who Virat Kohli is.
Yeah.
They both talk about the same book. And I also constantly keep talking about this book on the show because I've seen what that book has given me in life. Okay. And it's got thousands of lessons related to spiritual thought. There's energy in that book. When you pick up that book and you actually put your mind through it, when you absorb what's written in it, you change as a being. But one of the lessons that really stuck with me was that the book said that the most loved thing by the divine, when the divine is scanning your personality, the thing that the divine loves the most is humility. Like if you're humble, that pleases the divine more. So that's one life rule I follow. That just try being as humble as possible.
Even in my school, I've never made a pointer. I know more about the Bhagavad Gita than you know. I occasionally say I read the Gita or I'm a Vaishnav. I never ever say I'm smarter than you.
There's a question that's flashing in my head. That's why I'm going to ask the question to you. Have you read about the story of how Krishna Bhagwan passed away
Yeah.
from this earth? You want to narrate the story a bit?
Yes. After the Yadu clan all killed each other, Lord Balram gave up his life. Krishna is tired. He's sitting in such a manner that his left soul, this is my left soul, mirroring for people, was facing outward and his right was under. So his foot was very, I don't know how to describe it, but he has lotus feet. Now a hunter comes and he mistakes Krishna's foot to be a deer. That hunter's name is Jara. Now before you guys say, oh my god, Jara is so evil, yes, he did shoot the arrow at Krishna's foot, and yes, that did take away Krishna's life. But to tell you, in the past life, Krishna was Rama and Jara was Bali. So that is how you know karma is not like forgiving even gods. You know, that's how you know. And that's crazy because I always thought Krishna is a god, he can do anything. But even Krishna doesn't escape from karma.
You think that's the purpose of this story?
Yeah.
To teach us that even God himself can't escape the cycle of karma. What do you think of suffering?
I don't know, since I've never went through it myself.
Have you ever been sad?
Yeah.
What have you been sad about?
My grandfather.
Did he pass away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in 2022, when I was 6, I was sad. I was really sad. But I knew I cannot cry because I have to console like the people around me also. And I knew that and I understood that fully. And the moment, like my dad was there, he was already very sick. We had visited him in December 2022 when I was in first grade. We came back from Bilaspur. He was living in Bilaspur. My dad stayed, my mom and me and came back because my birthday was also coming and plus I couldn't skip school for long. So in February, we got the news. Like I had cried in my bedroom that night, and the next morning, me, my mom, my aunt, my maternal grandparents, we had all gone to Bilaspur. The moment we walked in, the scene I saw was already heartbreaking. My dad is on the floor, everyone else is surrounding. It's silent, except my daddy is crying. It was heartbreaking for me at that time.
What did it teach you about human existence?
Nothing. It just taught me you can't escape karma or dharma or any of the two.
Or the cycle.
Or the cycle. But yeah, I didn't. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
You know, as I'm growing older, and a lot of people don't understand this when I voice this to them, but I learned it from a soldier who was on the show. His name was Major Sushant, one of the most interesting people I've met in my life. He told me that one of the great practices in life, and also it's a very difficult mental practice, is to learn to be okay with the concept of death. And a lot of people are not okay with this thought. Like, how can this be an exercise? So Major Sushant actually said that he sometimes tries visualizing the death of his loved ones as well, to just learn individual detachment, because they've not actually passed away in reality. But when you come back to reality, your detachment muscle has improved just a little bit. And once your detachment muscle improves, you can detach yourself from your own emotions, which very often are actually your enemies. So it's very important to learn detachment. And this is something I practice, that I try visualizing my life without my loved ones. It's a morbid thought, and it doesn't change the love I feel for them. But I think it makes me a stronger person. And then I can give more of myself to them in reality, and I enjoy my time that I spend with them much more.
I've pondered over detachment multiple times, but the one thing I'm pondering over right now is I don't even know.
When this blankness happens in the show, it happens to me also. It's a sign from God to stop the podcast. I'm going to meet you a lot again in life as you grow older. I want to help you on your journey as well. So you have Sid Chachu and you have Ranveer Bhaiya, even though Ranveer Bhaiya is much older than Sid Chachu.
Yes.
But
I know your age gap between the both of you though.
yeah, I love him also. He's a very pure soul. He's doing a lot for children. But Paridhi, this one's about you. Did you have fun on today's episode?
Very much.
Yeah? It was okay, the conversation for you?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to take you out to my audience because I genuinely don't believe that you're 9 years old. I think you're 98 years old. And your soul is easily 100 million years older than mine. So, thank you, Paridhi. This was a lot of fun.
Yes. For
Thank
me
you.
too.
Thank you. I'm glad.